I want to talk about something that is true, so true, and that is the terror of success. So many business owners actually fear amplifying their marketing message because of the fear of success. And that is what we're going to talk about on today's episode on Amplify Your Marketing Message. I am your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. I am an entrepreneur, I am a mentor, I am a consultant, and I am someone who has an incredible community of high achievers, people who are either successful business owners already and are looking to grow to the next level, or people who have been successful in traditional occupations, the lawyers, the doctors, the nurses, the consultants, the people who have worked high and successful in the corporate ladder, beaten all the odds, many women who've climbed to very high successful positions, who are ready to take the leap into entrepreneurship. And suddenly this lion gets unleashed, which is the fear of success. It can show up in a lot of different ways. It can show up as doubt. It can show up as deference to someone else in the room, letting somebody else take the lead because you're hesitating to use your own voice, opinion, and expertise at the table. It can show up in you not being comfortable to charge or to make an offer to somebody who truly needs you, sees your value, and is ready to make you an offer, and you just let that moment slide. It can also show up in the hesitation to get visible. And so you are hiding in plain sight. You might be focusing on social media, hiding behind the keyboard and posting, but not really truly getting visible into the rooms where people are at the searching phase. And this fear is so prevalent. And I don't think anybody is talking about it. And yet, I bet right now, if you're listening to this episode, you're going, oh, I feel seen. The truth is that it's remarkable. I'm going to talk specifically to the women in the room because I am so familiar with this, both from my own storyline and from the people that I serve as clients in my business with Clear Acceleration. And it's this: there's a shockingly high statistic. 70% or more of women who are high achievers in one area of their lives. So that could be corporate, that could be motherhood, that could be relationship, it could be how they care and show up in the world, are awesome at it, like really, really awesome at it, suddenly become entrepreneurs or move into the space of self-employment, contracting, freelancing, and like in a heartbeat, they don't believe they could create the success in this new area. And so they self-sabotage their journey. They go through the motions. I said often hiding in plain sight. And it is crazy because if you are in that place and you're listening to that, and honestly, everyone else who's in the room is going, you're so awesome at this. Why don't you see it? And yet the truth is we are like the swans. And you've heard this analogy if you've heard me speak, and we're talking about presentations and speaking. The analogy of the swan is so true. The audience just sees this graceful white or black swan gliding across a pond, undeterred and elegant. However, under the surface, the feet are paddling like crazy, and you don't see that. And that's a great analogy for the role of entrepreneurship, because everybody on the outside is saying, I can see your brilliance. And you only feel the paddling of your own feet. And you're wondering, have I got what it takes? Maybe I should just stay safely by the shore. Or worse yet, who am I to want to dream so big? I've had great success over here. Who am I to now carve out a new chapter? Maybe it's not in the cards. I see it time and time and time again, this fear of amplifying our message to saying it's time to step into the big leagues. And when I say the big leagues, I don't mean it in any way other than stretching to your full potential, because that's what the big leagues really mean. And we have been conditioned to live by the labels of somebody else's expectations. We have been living under the fear-based idea that we can't have it all. And when I talk to my clients, and when clients choose to work with me, one of the most fundamental questions I ask is, what is the business that you want? Whatever it is, tell me what it is you see in that picture in your head that you can cast your vision around. Secondly, what is the life that you want? What are your priorities outside of the business? Because the truth is, in order to be successful and to knock on this terror of success door and close it once and for all, you need to show up as all of you. And yes, that doesn't mean that you don't have moments where you wobble, where you feel like the swan and your feet are paddling hard, 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 hard. It's that you decide everything you want is on the other side of fear. There are strategies to moving past this terror. And I want to talk a little bit about them and give you some guidance here, because as a mentor, that's my job. My job is to help guide you through the rocky patches, help you make better decisions more quickly, and see the lens that you cannot see because you're stuck with the forest for the trees. So sadly, we don't ever get rid of our limiting beliefs. I just don't believe we ever truly get rid of them. However, what we can do is build the muscle that says, I see you coming, and I don't buy into that storyline. And the more quickly you can build this muscle and the more you can exercise this muscle, the more quickly you will actually step into your full potential. And that's what you want. You see it, and in your own moments of reflection, chances are you're saying, I just need to go for it. I will tell you, here are some strategies to help you do that. The first thing is to recognize the voices inside your head. We have something like 40 to 60,000 thoughts every single day. The vast majority are not positive and constructive. And I want you to take time to reflect of whose voice is it in your head. I will tell you, chances are it's not your own. It's somebody that is influencing you, and you get to decide, do I buy into that storyline? And the quickest way to do that is to flip the conversation around. Instead of saying, that's what I hear and therefore it must be true, it's to pause and slow down enough to say, is that true? And really honestly, just if you were listening to somebody else, your best friend at the other side of the coffee table, hearing them rant about how they were limited and how it wasn't possible for them, would you allow that? Don't allow it to yourself. You need to be your own best friend in business. You must be your engine, as you've heard me say before. I want you to flip the switch and say, is it true? Like if I was looking at this from 50,000 feet and you were massively successful in your corporate career, could you be massively successful in another area of your life? Absolutely, you can. Do you get there overnight? No, but you also didn't get to be massively successful in your career the first time you tried something. It was that story and that building the muscle to become a master at something. And this is your invitation to become a great entrepreneur, to step into your potential. It is about building the skills of mastery. And you do have the opportunity to accelerate that by working with great people and being in great communities such as Clear Acceleration and the business mentorship program I offer. But you get to ask the question, is it true? Yes or no? And then if the answer is no, it's not true, I want you to take it a step further, especially if you're looking at yourself in the mirror when you do this exercise and you're listening to those voices. I want you to flip the switch and say, if it wasn't true, what's the opposite? And could that be true? Which is, you are absolutely capable of building new skills. You are absolutely capable of being great at more than one thing in life. You are absolutely capable of the vision that you see. You just need guidance, support, trusting yourself to make mistakes, to build that muscle of mastery so that you can achieve that vision you get. And trust me when I tell you, they're like dominoes in your life. Every first step, that's all you need to focus on, because that is truly how momentum is built. It's getting into the movement. So that's number one. I want you to challenge the expectations of what you're hearing and flip the switch. The second thing I want you to do is to recognize that to be great and to step into your potential and to tackle fear, you need to recognize that you already have innately what you need to be successful, which is your humanity. To be human and to serve somebody and to offer your programs and services and to serve it at the highest level simply requires that you be human. Because you must remember that the person that you want to serve is in the dark. They are struggling. They are lost in terms of what to do next, and they need a guide. And so all of those limiting beliefs of somebody else could do it better, I don't know if I am capable, I feel like what happens if I do this and then I can't deliver, and all of those things that go on in our head. Trust me, I know the moment I signed my very first client, I set into a huge panic spin thinking, what happens if I can't deliver this value? And I had to be talked off the ledge. I had someone in my life that could do that for me. And I'm so grateful they did, because I was spinning, and chances are you've been there too. But you need to recognize that if you simply say, show up for them and ask, what is it you need? How can I best support you? And be clear that to be a great support, to be a great guide, isn't to be the yes person for your client. Be dangerous if it was the truth. But what you are asked to do is to be the guide, which means be honest, be in integrity, be human, have compassion, and show up. But recognize your task when you are working with a client is to work together to rise the expectation, to rise the standard, to build the foundations to create repeatable success. That's ultimately where the biggest value is created. And don't lose sight of that. So just remember, step 2 is you have what you need, which is to be human. You can be flawed. You can see the imposter syndromes. You can see the overwhelm. You can see those limiting beliefs and say, I see you, but serving somebody who needs me is more important. And just move, flawed, human, and compassionate to the darkness, and help your client. Make the offer. Guide them to the guidance of what they are seeking as a result. That's so important. That's step number 2. Step number 3 is to speak the truth to yourself, and to be in communities and to be in spaces. We talk about getting in the right room a lot here on Amplify Your Marketing Message, but be in spaces that when you wobble, because guess what? Hello, you are human. You will wobble. It's true. I always tell my clients, wobble faster. It will feel like a straight line. Move more quickly to recognize, whoa, I have a problem here. I see it. Let's move past it and set ourselves into motion. That will help us get out of the spin. Is to recognize that you must be the leader of yourself, to simply initiate and to be around people who can breathe life into you. And this is an important one. And I know it's sometimes really hard when we have been wired to be successful in one capacity. The simple ask of asking for help, the simple ask of saying, I think I'm doing everything and it's not working, is defeating. It's deflating. It is so frustrating. And here's the truth. You're in a spin. If you can't pull yourself out of the spin, you need a bestie. You need someone in inner circles. You need somebody who can say to you, get clear, because you cannot see the forest for the trees. But you must lead yourself out of that spin, and to be in communities, to be with mentors such as myself or people that you trust, to say, honestly, wake up. You would never be so harsh to your friends as you are to yourself. And that is one of the reasons why we are not talking about the fear of success. People who are high achievers go, what if I can't get there? The second question, which is also asked, what happens if I can't maintain it? I know the fear of maintaining success has been harder than the fear of getting there, because blind luck, tenacity, and grit can get you there. That does not mean working 24/7, just so we're clear. I do not buy into that. I'm no longer 20. I no longer have that interest to work myself into the bone. I want to get there with joy. I want to get there with awesome people. I want to get there with help, and I'm prepared to pay for it. You should be prepared to pay for it too. I will tell you, if you're not, clients will not pay for you if you are not prepared to pay for your own education, knowledge, and skill development. So let me get back on track here. The key is that you must lead it. You are responsible for your future. And getting into rooms where you can be honest with each other is an accelerator. I often tell people really simply, a mentor is the ultimate accelerator because they are there to help you when you wobble. They're here to correct your inner dialogue. They're here to help listen to the small smack talk that you do every day that keeps you from striving for your potential. You can build the muscle to success. To make great impact, you must lead yourself first. Secondly, you must see the limits when they start to percolate their head, because I will tell you, whether you are striving for $50,000 in your business, $100,000 in your business, $500,000 in your business, $1 million, or multiple millions, I will tell you at every level of success, that fear of success rises its head. Can I get there? Question. Can I maintain it? Bigger question. What will it take? And what if I'm found out that I'm not capable of this and the wheels fall off the bus? Question. What happens if truly I do not have what it takes and I have going to be found out by my clients, by my peers, that I socially implode when I have to exit the field because I'm so overwhelmed and burnt out? I don't know how I got here. If that is you, I will tell you right now, just business friend to business friend, everything you want is on the other side of fear. You get to choose how you build your business. You get to choose your inner circle. Find a mentor. Come talk to me if you are curious and what I'm saying resonates with you. It is not a marriage proposal. It's a conversation I'm inviting you to have. And I want you to know that the greatest gift in life is to live up to our potential. We have so much potential inside, and that dissonance, the feeling stuck, that why is this so hard? That whole conversation that's happening is because you are scared to step into the potential that you have within you. And yet, you hear it calling. It is time to answer that call. It is time to put down that terror, not just fear, but terror of success. You are capable. You can build the muscles. You can get the skills you need. You can get into rooms where people are moving and will help you raise your standard, will help you fine-tune what it is you're doing, and believe in you when you wobble. That is what great masterminds do. That's what great mentors do. And I invite you right now, if you cannot get out of your own way, you will fail to live up to potential. And I know personally what drives me every day, because helping people create the business and the life they want is like oxygen to me. It feels as essential as breathing, because I know I have skills that I can help guide, I can teach, I can listen, and I can believe and hold that vision as you need. I know what it means to be afraid of your own potential. And I have crafted over the last 6 years the team I need. People would call it a dream team. The people that come into my life and I know will help me get to that next level. But you must get into the right rooms. I hope you know that if you are feeling the terror of success, the key is getting out of your spin cycle. I've given you a couple strategies to address it. Number one, you want to change the lens in which you're hearing that voice. What if it wasn't true? See it, believe it. Number two, I want you to really recognize the importance of speaking truth to yourself. Seek guidance. You can build the capacity and the capabilities. That is a leadership question, and leadership always starts with you. And number three, I want you to remember that getting into the right rooms is everything. This has been Amplify Your Marketing Message. This is a podcast to help Solopreneurs, consultants, freelancers, and creatives build profitable and thriving businesses on their own terms. The reason you may feel stuck, the reason this may connect, is that we are not talking about the fear of success. I know it is something I have personally struggled with. I have found guidance to get me there, and my invitation to you is to have a conversation with us at Clear Acceleration and get moving. Everything you want, rise to the potential is there. Tap into it, make it happen. Be sure to subscribe to this program, and I will catch you on our next episode. See you soon.